Welcome to Pitch It To Me Podcast, a show about the subjective past, present, and potential future of flesh and blood design. In today's episode, we will review our predictions, our audience's predictions, and give our first impressions for Compendium of Rathe. You can find us across all socials, such as Blue Sky and Instagram, at Pitch It To Me Podcast.
I'm Joel.
I'm Fuzzy.
And I'm Clark.
Wait. What was the second name?
Fuzzy, me, Fuzzy.
Yo, back from the depths of his
Schedule.
Yeah, it's a schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been really busy and a little sick a couple weeks ago. I'm really grateful that my hosts have been able to record without me and give me a little bit of breathing room from the podcast, but I'm so happy to be back on mic. You have no idea. And I'm glad that Talon could fill in for me while I was gone. But I am having a really good time in my teaching credential program and working as a substitute teacher. It's really fulfilling. I literally broke down crying in one of my classes because I was so moved by the great and terrible honor of raising the next generation of children. I feel like I'm in my element a little bit, and I'm just really grateful to be able to explore the career path that I'm planning on exploring.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they're glad to have you. There's some real shitty teachers out there.
Sure.
All right. So for today's episode, we are doing our first impressions of Compendium of Rathe. All the spoilers are out. The set is technically not out yet. It comes out on Friday.
I'm chomping at the bit, man.
And we have the glorious effort of having to try to get all of our product on Friday right before the Calling San Diego starts.
Wow.
Which we will probably not be doing.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to San Diego, unfortunately. Would have been cool, though.
It's such a crazy busy weekend. The set releases on Friday.
Yeah.
Which is day one of the Calling. And then it's also Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah. I was really planning on going, and I had this whole plan of I'm going to take my girlfriend out on this day, and then I'm going to play Flesh and Blood the other day. But I'm like, I can't be doing this. I'm going to Japan. I can't be spending extra money on, tournaments that don't matter.
Oh,
I mean, it's all Sage. It's not going to prepare me for PQ season,
Well, PQ season is Sage.
There's a couple Sage ones, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also Classic Constructed.
It is indeed both. So for today's episode, we're going to be talking about Compendium of Rathe. All the spoilers are out. We've seen play at the London World Premiere. And the set's not out yet. Comes out this Friday. And we're doing this very quick turnaround. I think this is the fastest turnaround we've ever done from predictions to set review.
Yeah, it was just a few weeks ago where we all were giving our predictions for the set, and now we get to see them come to fruition or not.
Yeah, we do have an episode coming later where I think we'll give a more proper review of the set. We'll go a lot deeper into it. This is more of a fun little look back on our predictions and definitely give those first impressions of the set because we haven't played with the cards yet. We haven't touched them. And even though the world premiere has happened, it's not like we understand what the meta is looking like after these cards come out. So any first impression is not an actual analysis of the set. Really.
This is like a delicious appetizer before we really dive in.
So true.
So please enjoy the canapes.
But we take this appetizer very seriously because we got to find out who's the best at predicting Compendium of Rathe.
Now, we do want to now do our question of the week. So we want to ask you, the audience, what was your favorite part of spoiler season? And if that's maybe a little too blasé, should LSS do the 100 cards in one day drop again? Because I think that was a whirlwind of a day. I think everyone felt very overwhelmed, the least of all Tyler and the from Fab Cube and the team at Fabrary. Because I'm pretty sure LSS, when they dropped the 100 cards, they were like, and you can see all the cards over on Fabrary. And I can just imagine those poor community coders just sweating in the middle of the night, just trying to get all these cards uploaded.
When I think of this spoiler season, I think of the SpongeBob episode where it's in his brain and all the different SpongeBobs running around, everything has a fire. I'm sure that's the headquarters of Fabrary at this point.
Even yesterday, I saw members of our community being like, wait, how didn't I see this card?
Yeah.
It's because there were 100 cards dropped in a single day.
There's something magical about that. Although, like, I will probably open a booster pack of Compendium of Rathe and see a card that I've never seen before. There's a magic in that we so rarely get nowadays that can only be done by a crazy, almost messed up spoiler season.
And that is one of the reasons why LSS tries to like always hold something back for the world premiere. Like they want people to have that feeling because that feeling is so special.
When we recorded our pitch and predictions episode about a month ago, we had our red pitch devoted to equipment-based predictions, yellow pitch devoted to Silver Age predictions, and blue pitch being our grab bag with all the potpourri of miscellaneous stuff. So we're going to have that same structure for this episode, but you'll also get to hear in each pitch one moment where a host is going to gush about something they're really excited to see in the set or happy that they did.
Yeah. All right. So without further ado, let's jump into red pitch talking about equipment. And I think it is only fair to keep Fuzzy talking because he's been gone for so long. So Fuzzy, let's start off with your prediction that you made in red pitch. Now, you didn't know what we were going to do for each pitch.
Yes, I recorded my predictions separately before the rules and structure had been decided, and I have fewer predictions than the rest of you. So I'm honored that you would allow me to go first in this and maybe even every pitch today.
And we're going to do that. Your first pitch was that generic card combo support would get printed specifically around Moonwish or Sunkiss. That didn't happen.
Damn. I was so hyped for you. I was like, surely this is the set.
Every pitch. every set.
I don't think I do that every set. Not this combo.
You don't make the official prediction, but you definitely say it.
There's never a set where I do not want them to print Sunwish and Moonkiss support. That's true.
It's like your Lightning Strike reprint. You keep saying it, and eventually it comes true.
Didn't happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. Although Clark went off on a fucking tear this pitch. He predicted, first off, that there would be Spell Void 2 equipment, and I think he got that one right several times this set, if I'm not
There is a lot more Spell Void, and there is a lot of specifically, 2 spell, prevent 2 arcane.
Yeah.
But also, this was intended to be, not just arcane prevention for 2, it was kind of meant to be generic Spell Void 2.
Did we get that?
No.
Not generic, but
I remember listening through the episode and you mentioning that there'd be some really interesting way to get larger amounts of Spell Void, which we definitely saw in the headpiece.
Yes. By leaving it vague, I did leave myself open to get a full point here.
I feel like you deserve the full point.
Oh, sweet. Full point for Clark.
Yeah.
And Clark, I believe you also predicted there would be a base Necromancer equipment.
And we got the full set.
Yeah.
The Carrion set.
Yeah, I feel like they were going a little crazy with the full sets of equipment in this set, but it was definitely needed, especially for Necromancer.
I agree 100%. And for the Sage format as a whole, having a lot more equipment options makes the format a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
And I think this set was really, really cool for Gravy and helped us see a little bit more with kind of what they want Necromancer to be like.
I remember when they were doing debuting the Silver Age Precon decks, and people were kind of disappointed to see so much of the Blade Beckoner equipment because they were thinking that what that meant was Compendium of Rathe is not going to have good replacements for those. And I think we had our expectations in a weird spot, but we can see now there's lots of really cool equipment pieces, ones that you would want to run over the Blade Beckoners, and we're going to see a lot more equipment diversity in Silver Age moving forward.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about some of Talon's predictions. Now, Talon isn't here to argue for him, so I think it's also only fair if Fuzzy, Talon's platonic life partner, is a stand-in to argue on his behalf.
Fantastic.
Talon's first prediction was that there would be companions printed in the set. And I said that Talon was crazy for thinking that they would ever do that.
They did print a number of companions, but that number is 0.
So no companions, we're sorry, Talon. Though they baited us.
They did.
They printed that art of the wizard owl.
Yeah.
From Wobble.
From Wobble, yeah.
And the fucking owl had the wizard hat, and everyone's like, this has to be a wizard companion. And then it just wasn't.
But if you want to see some designs for potential wizard ally cards, we've got some of those in a backlog episode.
Yeah, we did do that. Talon also predicted that there would be a new bow. Now, he specifically called out that this would be a 2 cost to load bow, but that was definitely secondary to him being like, they're going to print a new bow for us. And the monkey's paw real curled up on that one.
Yeah, I think the monkey's paw might need some lotion or something because it generated some real doo-doo steak butt.
Yeah, Farflight Longbow. It's just paying a resource to put an arrow into your arsenal, something rangers could already do. And you can attack any opposing hero.
Yeah.
Even the one to your diagonal. Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
So I think Talon might get a half point here.
Well, hold on. Does Talon even want a half point for this?
I think he prefers 0 points just on the...
I think Talon, if he was here with us, would say, I don't even want a point for this fucking bow.
As his representative, I would like to argue for my client getting a half point.
That's fair.
I think he deserves it.
And sometimes I have to put my client's, best interest over his desires,
Yes.
So true.
Sometimes you got to take the plea deal.
Yeah. So he gets a stinky half point so far.
That's so funny.
Joel, I think you in one of your predictions talked about an alternative way to prevent arcane damage rather than arcane barrier or spell void.
Yeah, I forgot what exactly I predicted, but I don't think it was correct either way.
You were talking about how there would be a way of building up energy counters and then using those energy counters.
Yeah, that's not in the set.
Though there is, interestingly enough, an alternative way of preventing arcane damage, a brand new way, which is something that just explicitly states prevented the next X arcane damage, which is interesting because that acts as the sort of floating prevention from effects like Haunting Rendition, where it can either apply the total number to a single source or cover multiple sources of one, something that was previously not capable with Arcane Shelter, Spell Void, or even Arcane Barrier. So,
what's the card name?
You talking about the warrior one?
Yeah, Templar Spellbane. Destroy this, prevent the next 1 arcane damage that would be dealt to you this turn. If you've activated a weapon this turn, instead prevent the next 2. And then Card Vault True Text says that it works the way that I just described. So that is technically new, but they didn't keyword it, and it's not what you described in the episode. So I think no point.
Yeah, that works for me. Honestly, I think it was too similar to yours in the first place.
And Joel, for your last prediction, you predicted that there would be a pitch outlet for defense, a way to generate defensive value through pitching, sort of citing the trench of, not sunken treasures, but the trench of watery depths.
Yes. Wow. Nice.
Where once you block with it, you can pitch a blue from your graveyard. And there kind of is.
Yeah, there was a card revealed, actually also in Pirate, Gloves of Azure Waves. Has Arcane Barrier 1, is a pirate equipment arms piece that blocks for 0 and is majestic, but it has High Tide. If there are 2 or more blue cards in your pitch zone, this gets +3 and Blade Break. So it's not specifically pitching for defense, but you get defense if you pitch cards, which I feel like maybe a half point question mark. I need a lawyer. I'll be appealing in the courts of Flesh and Blood later on. don't you worry.
Fuzzy, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between no points and a half point. I don't remember very well, but would you say that your your prediction was geared towards Silver Age?
Not necessarily. I think it was really geared specifically towards pitching and then getting it like an activation cost that required resources.
Yeah, like Quell or Ironhide.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, actually, there is Quell.
There is Quell, yes.
Wait, are we back? Question mark?
He gets bailed out by the random
there's
Quell equipment.
There's some funky mechanologists. Yes. Embryo base walkers were so bad.
I'll give you a half point.
Let's go.
Half point for Joel.
And Silver Age illegal, everyone.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're fucking back.
Yeah.
Coolio.
I also want to take this time to shout out a correct community prediction, which is kind of about an equipment. So this was not one of the ones that we shouted out on the episode, but deep in the recesses of our Discord, back on January 15th at 7:28 a.m., Apercu posted, they predicted a Construct Nitro Mechanoid reprint with different art featuring Max,
Holy.
parentheses, also existing in Marvel. What
Wow.
a fucking call out, dude.
Yeah.
If there was ever a 2-pointer, I think this is a 2-pointer.
man. At least a 1.5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, good job.
Right on the fucking money.
Yeah, it's in Gym Pack, not the set, but I think we've been okay with Gym Pack sort of being grouped in.
Yeah, that's why it's 1.5 and not 2 points.
Yes. But I mean, what an incredible call out.
Yeah, unreal.
Good job.
All right, now let's give the space to Gush to Fuzzy.
I think it's really cool that this set has added so much to Flesh and Blood, whether it's the Silver Age format or the classic constructed format. They've also printed a bunch of legendaries in the set that are able to keep the market down a little bit, make the game a little bit more approachable for everyone. Imagine like you buy a box of Compendium of Rathe and you open up your tunic. Amazing. And more copies of these legendaries means the game is cheaper, more accessible. So I think the game's going to get so much more accessible. And the fact that they're not printing any new legendary equipment means that that accessibility isn't rising at the same time, right? It's not a give and take. It's just a give to the community. And I think that's really exciting that we have a set where all the most powerful new cards are Majestics or Rares.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the decks I've been brewing, the costs are no longer $1,000+.
Yeah.
They're like 500, 400. And I'm like, this is really, really nice to see.
With that, I think we're ready to move on to Yellow Pitch to recap some Silver Age based predictions.
Quite.
Yes.
Do I get to go first again?
You do get to go first again.
Fuzzy,
Look,
go first.
That's your name up at the top of the notes.
I predicted that they were going to provide some support for the Soul Bead Strike combo line. That did not happen. But the closest thing we got, and I don't think this deserves even a half point, but we did get a card that lets you change its name based on cards previously played in the chain link. So you could say Soul Bead Strike or any of the cards from the Soul Bead Strike line.
I knew you were going to say that, number one. Number two, I thought you were going to mention the Zen card. The let me pull it up real quick.
Oh, the one where every single ephemeral thing you get to name it?
Yeah, the shapeless form.
The Schwoom little junior.
Yeah, Schwoom Junior. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't give you a half point for that either. So
I like how you can tell on these predictions that I made all in one night frantically how much I love when they name cards specifically.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite mechanics.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really easy to say, oh, this is so reductive. It's like the game is building your deck for you. I can see why people don't like it, but I love it because I don't know why. I don't know why I love it so much when my trading cards mention other trading cards by name. And they did that with like an assassin card, which I think is just so fun. The lobotomy card. So I had a good time that spoiler season.
I think it's cool too. I think they just need to create like cooler effects for these cards because I some of them just don't see play.
Sure.
But yeah, good try, Fuzzy.
Clark, you said there would be a cycle of new harpoons that care about the cost of your cards because we've seen like King Shark cares about attacks. There's a non-attack version. King Kraken. There's also the red and blue, the ones that care about color. So you were like harpoons that care about cost. Did that happen?
Sort of building contracts as the parallel there. And we did not get that. We did get a brand new harpoon, but it is a single harpoon that simply gets rid of Arsenal. I think it's a fantastic card for Marlin, and it is a new harpoon, but it's not as how I described.
Yeah, I think you definitely tapped into something true that like Marlin needs more harpoon cards. She doesn't
specifically a rare.
Yeah. And she doesn't quite have that critical mass in CC or even in Silver Age where she doesn't have her good ones. So that was a great thing to predict.
It's actually better this way because she gets a universal form of disruption in a format where she doesn't have access to her larger majestic harpoon.
I think I'm willing to give you a half point for the Marlin support. It's not the cost thing. And if you had just said a harpoon, I would have been like, that's not a full prediction.
I did say a cycle, yeah.
Yeah, he said cycle and cost. So in my mind, I don't think there's a point here. Which, to be fair, I think you're already in the lead, so it's not like you fucking need it.
Oh, we both know that's not how these games go.
Not when Clark's in the lead.
I need all these.
Look, I didn't point horror until the end of the future predictions, all right?
This is so fun listening to you in the episode too, because you were like so stressed the entire episode. You were like, these are all gonna flop.
All right. For my other prediction, I predicted that we would get some anti-block cards. So cards that were able to care about or prevent the block cards from, well, blocking or blocking well, perhaps. And we didn't get that.
I could see them expanding into that design space in the future, but it's also really tough because block cards are really niche. They can only do one thing and they can't even do it out of Arsenal. So it's really easy to punish them just by good play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so many of the cards that were introduced in Sage, I think target decks that use, or excuse me, that overuse block cards really well. But it's not anything that specifically targets block. I think just a lot of really good mid-range pieces.
If I could advocate for my buddy Talon, he predicted there would be new blue traps.
Oh my god.
Since in Silver Age, you're not able to play your legendary Riptide traps, he thought there'd be some new blue traps to kind of fill in for that design space.
And there were not one, but 3 blue traps added to the game.
But I don't think they were the blue traps as he thought they would be. They're even better because they're non-attack action cards.
Yeah, what a fucking... what do you call it? A curveball?
What a way to fix issues with traps.
Upskis for Talon.
Yeah, like if they're only defense reactions, you're never proactively playing the game. You're only defending, but Riptide needs more traps, so that's a bit more relevant. How do you do both? Well, here's a non-attack action card that gives a token that turns on your other traps, while also being able to block and be a trap that can trigger while blocking.
And these ones block for 3.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sick. It's so sick.
Talon also predicted that there would be cards that give you a bonus if you have low intellect.
Oh.
Now, does anyone... So I highlighted this as potentially being correct. Does anyone know why?
The Intimidate Draw card one?
Yep.
Oh,
Lay down the
interesting.
challenge.
I definitely think that card is meant to be good in Tough Nut.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to block and you're still triggering it. I'm leaning towards that not being the thing that Talon was predicting specifically, but maybe he was going for a more general design principle.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, he even referenced it where he was like 10 foot tall and bulletproof. But I do think if Talon was here right now, he'd be like, what do you mean?
That card does synergize with 10 foot tall somehow.
So I think half point at best.
I kind of see half point because like it doesn't specifically no cards reference intelligence in this set.
So Talon gets a half point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him a half point.
Wait, that brings him up to 2. That means he's tied with me. See what I'm saying? It's you can't just be like, oh, Clicks in the lead. You never know. You never know. Some people win one pitch, they lose another pitch, you know? That's how it goes.
It's going to be a nail biter, that's for
It's gonna be
sure.
a real nail biter.
Joel, I believe you predicted that they would print some new contract cards so Arachne Huntsman can get some support.
Yeah, and I specifically referenced novel contract requirements, like ones that didn't care about ones that were already previously printed. And they did print a couple of really cool ones, one specifically targeting Mistveil heroes. Also, excessive blood loss targets specifically red cards, and I mean, just has the same banish top of deck.
But if it's red, you get to repeat the process once. I love this card. Yeah, just has that downside of costing 1.
And Silver Age legal?
Yeah, what are we thinking? We're back.
So full point there, I think, for you, Joel, is that you asked for new contract cards and we got 2 of them.
Yeah, good shout.
We absolutely take those.
Yeah.
And I think, do you want to describe your next prediction, Joel?
Yeah, so...
Man, fucking kicking him while he's down. Fuzzy,
I just want to hear what he predicted.
he's like,
Fuzzy,
I'm not
are you the new reviled head Jeff? Because you're just adding insult to injury.
Damn.
So, viewers, last pitch and predictions episode, I forgot one of my... I feel like it was a really good one. I still do not remember it to this day what it was, but I forgot a prediction. So I had to come up with one on the spot, and I predicted that there would be... that there would be a playable Shadow Head Jeb from Banish. I don't know, to complete the cycle specifically of like Ghostly Visit and Void Wrath.
It would be like a 0 for 3 with no go again, probably, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't really, the only thing we got playable from Banish is Embalm. We got something.
That's
but
a majestic non-attack, yeah.
Yeah.
That does not generate 3 value either.
Nope, not even a little bit.
Cool card, though.
Sweet card. I just, yeah.
It's okay. We can't all get all of our predictions right. There have to be limits to our masculinity.
Thanks, Fuzzy.
To our powers.
So true. But we also had another correct prediction from a viewer. Dark Vincent predicted that there would be a common or rare card that makes ponder tokens. And I think there's a lot of ponder token generation in this set.
At the very least, there's a few. So there's Silken Shroud, which is the illusionist headpiece. When it's destroyed, it makes a ponder. We had already seen Snap's Spark Cap, so I'm not willing to give that to Dark Vincent. But then there's also Phoenix Bannerman Head.
Yep.
And those are really the big 2 in this set.
I don't think there are any more.
Yeah.
I think that's enough to give you a point, though.
Hell yeah.
And now it's time for me to gush about something that I've been really excited about for Compendium of Rathe. And that is the unprecedented warrior buff that this set gave.
Yeah?
I feel like every single warrior has had one or more pain points addressed in these new cards, and it's been incredible to watch. I think in general, everyone knows that Kasaya has been the predominant warrior for a long time. She has really good ally support. She can also be incredibly aggressive. I think Chris Hiley has piloted her incredibly well in doing so. So really, it was up to the rest of the warriors to sort of match her energy in that respect. And I think other than Olympia, because I don't think he's a real warrior, I think everyone else got insane boost. Blunton is a card that I'm really excited about. I think that being yellow makes it playable in Kasai, even though she didn't really need it. But it also in Bolton, it's a yellow and just allows Warrior to take up the mantle on being the masters of weapons and physical defense. So I think this is a perfect card to raise the floor of Warriors.
What I really like about Blunton when compared to Kabuto, because both of them are trying to do the same thing of expanding on the I am punishing you for attacking with your weapon. Which
you bring a sword against me? Girl, no.
Yeah. But Kabuto was it could not really see play in anything other than Warrior because the opponent could always just lead off with the weapon. Very rarely was the weapon the big giant chain ender or to where Kabuto really felt like you could block the first thing and then stop later weapon swings in a way that would really impact heroes' game plans. But Blunton is you lead with your weapon and I can punish that. So I think it's a much better way of expressing the thematic zone of punishing the opponents for swinging with their weapons, because it's not, well, now you can't swing with your weapon. It's I'm punishing you for swinging the weapon. I think it's a better place for it to be.
Interesting. I kind of disagree in the regard that Kabuto is the most insane warrior headpiece, but I definitely see these two being at odds with each other. Moving on to some other pieces that I think Warrior really needed was generic Warrior Arcane Defense. Templar Spellbane being Battle Ward 1 and also Spell Void 2 when you need it is I've been shouting this from the rooftops for years that we need some way to deal with Arcane. And getting this when I literally gave up on this being a possibility was incredible to see. Also, Fang got an insane headpiece that protects his fealty tokens. I've been feeling there's been so much aura hate in the game that just inadvertently flattens his ceiling. But now it's he has so many ways to deal with not only aura destruction, but also frostbite generation on his side of the field. Just so much going on for warriors in general.
Yeah, I think talented warriors definitely got a lot, but I'm kind of curious about the generic warrior card pool.
Well, I think the generic card pool is designed specifically to not only LL Dorinthia, but be decent support for Hala whenever she gets released. There's a couple cards that care about specifically Sharpen, and while I think they're good support for Hala, I think Dorinthia is what's going to make these cards shine.
I like how you reframed that. When I was going through the set earlier, I was kind of seeing that in terms of supplemental sets, they've done a good job of printing wide support rather than creating a new archetype. When I think of supplemental sets, I always think of in Dynasty, we got Crouching Tigers, and they only printed Crouching Tigers for Ninja, and other classes were very similar. They're like, here's a new idea. We're only exploring this idea. We're not going to go back and print support for existing archetypes. But this set, they've actually like created a lot of support for a lot of heroes, and I felt like the warrior card pool here was very much like, for one type of archetype, it's only for sharpen heroes. And I like hearing you explain it because you've like changed my perspective that the other warriors are often talented and they've gotten their pieces and everybody is getting some support. The generic warrior cards are for the 2 generic warriors that we have, and Kasai, like not Kasai, but and Dorinthia, they are getting support. So that's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just little sprinkles here and there. Oh, obviously, I didn't mention this earlier, but Bolton got by far the biggest buff out of all of them. Not only did he get in-class AB with the light gauntlets, but he also got Roaring Beam, which basically reduces your need to have our charge card for the rest of the game. When you draw this up and just sits in your arsenal, you're always having some way to lead with 0 for 3 charge. Incredible card.
Yeah. And I'm surprised you didn't shout it out. Duty Bound Blitz.
Oh my God. I mean, there's like so many cards to mention here.
When I saw Duty Bound Blitz, I'm like, fuck this, dude. What the fuck?
I know, right? Yeah, that card's incredible. And like, you play Roaring Beam, you charge, make a Courage Token. This is 0 for 6 go again. Like, that's an insane rate.
What the absolute fuck. And you can like almost lead off with that, right?
Yeah.
Because it just cares about a yellow going to soul.
Yeah.
So you could also get this off of like Light of Soul paying for something. Like if you find a way of pitching Light of Soul and you flip a yellow in, you can lead with Duty Bound Blitz. Like there's some real sick shit that you could do with that card. The fact that it's 5 go again, go fuck yourself.
You can even like run the yellow without taking power out of your deck because 0 for 4 go again. Yellow is still really, really good.
I mean, Joel, you've been asking for an above rate Bolton card forever. And they printed a 0 for 5 with the easiest fucking conditions.
Yeah, everything turns it on. It's incredible.
That is literally a 6 value common.
Yeah.
0 for 5 go again with the easiest fucking condition in the world, dude.
Yeah. I'm incredibly happy with. I know a lot of people have been doing on this set for various reasons, and I don't think you're wrong for thinking so in some aspects, but like the buff that Warrior got, I don't think you like really understand how insane this is. Yeah. Anyways, that's my gush. Sorry I was a little long. I just really like this set.
No, dude, it was sick. And I do think that Warrior's got a really big thing. The one Warrior who felt like she didn't was Kasai, but it's like Kasai's been doing.
She's been solid for a while.
So solid for so long.
Yeah.
I think it's time for us to move on to Blue Pitch, where we're going to have more of a mixed bag of predictions from our last episode and the conversation. Who knows where it's going to go?
Well, I know where it's going to go first.
Oh,
and that's over to Fuzzy.
Hey, yo, again? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I predicted that we would have a tome card because they were like nostalgia. And I'm like, well, tomes, because that's like something they were printing all the time. And then they were like, we got to stop doing that.
And then I think in the episode, I was like, there's no way. Bro, they're never going to print the tome again. Tomes? Like, ban every fucking tome. What do you mean they're going to print another tome, Fuzzy?
And I thought tome card was too low-hanging fruit. So I also specified that I thought it was going to be a generic tome. And I was so close. They printed a tome card, but it's a chaos card, not a generic card.
Yes, we already had our generic tome with Gorganian tome, but
which was reprinted.
Oh yeah, they printed a generic tome.
But Tome of Pandemonium.
Oh, this card's incredible.
Chaos action, 1 cost, yellow pitch, 2 block. Banish the top card of each hero's deck. You may play them this turn. Go again.
Wow.
Yeah, I love this card. If I was at all interested in Chaos Heroes, I would be running like 5 of these, and I would get DQ'd, and I'd be like, Chaos.
I love that for us.
I really like that we have this La Apocalyptica cultist behind, like holding the tome with a ring with like a little eldritch eyeball on, a little squid eyeball, and it looks like they're wearing a crow mask. I think that's sick.
It's pretty sick art.
Damn, it's hard for me to see that, but
I pulled it up.
Astute observation.
Joel, it looks like you predicted there would be some shadow.
Hold on. Fuzzy, you trying to get a full point from that?
Well, I mean, they printed a tome.
You said generic tome.
We heard you the recording. You knew we were going to ask for more specific.
Is there a point value in there you're assigning to me? Is there
half point?
Half point.
Okay, half point. I'll take it.
Great effort, Fuzzy.
So I get a half point for my 3 predictions. I am on the board.
You're on the board. You love to see it.
Joel, I believe that you predicted that we would see some Shadow Flail support, and I was so hyped for it. I was a believer. Unfortunately,
so it's funny. There's a card that like very strongly implies the use of a flail. Like I think it's literally flagellation or vest of flagellation, something like that.
Vestment of flagellation.
Flagellation, yeah. Which doesn't reference flail at all, but flagellation is literally used with a flail. And then Pound of Flesh, which I think helps Hexagore a lot, but doesn't reference a flail. So like, I'm not looking for a half point here even.
All right, Joel, for your other prediction, you said something tap 2 for 6 disruption.
Yeah, I was assuming that they were going to do a 2 for 6 majestic attack action card that punishes tapping in some way, but that didn't happen. And I think they added so much in class hate pieces and tech pieces that like you don't even need this.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good shout, but the generic majestics that we got were Rockyard Rodeo and High Current Currency. They are not 2 for 6 disruption pieces, nor did they print a 2 for 6 disruption piece at Rare, which is interesting. I'm surprised that they haven't returned to that well in a while. I feel like we keep expecting them to print a 2 for 6 disruptive piece again, and then we keep not getting it.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a reason why they don't like that stat line anymore. All right, for my first prediction, I predicted that the set would have an unequal distribution, that some classes or talents would have more cards than others. And when Talon really pushed me on putting it to a number, I refused, but we landed on, what was it, like 5 or 7 or something along those lines?
I don't know. I was listening back to it and I was like, how did I let this through?
Yeah, there's a falsifiability, there's an issue of falsifiability here, but I'm curious to see what you are going to say because I don't want to do the math.
Because I did do the math. And what I checked is that it is very, very equal. Some talents did get 1 extra card over others or 2 extra cards, but everything was roughly about the same. Classes got about 13 cards spread equally, and talents got about 10 to 11 cards, with some talents getting 12. Now that I did say just 1 or 2 cards would not be enough of a difference for me. But Mech had significantly more cards than any other class. But Mech has about 21 cards, which is about 7 more than any other class. So Mech was one of the classes I specifically called out as needing more cards to be printed for the archetypes that they were looking to support. So I think I was right.
I think I applaud you for doing the math, and I don't care enough to decide what's the best way to decide if you're right or wrong here. So you know what, Clark? Here's a point from Fuzzy.
Damn it, I should have gone first. I was going to say that I would be inclined to give you half a point because based on the math, I don't think there's enough difference in the amount of cards that each class or talent got other than the ones that you mentioned during the prediction.
Yeah, it's the fact that like everything is so equal, it's just this one class sort of idea. Like if maybe there were 2 classes that were differently distributed.
Yeah, which is what I expected as well. But also in general, I think the premise of the prediction seemed more ground fruity. But it seems like I'm outvoted. Or I mean, hey, if the audience wants to be
half point?
I said half point. Yes.
That was a brainy prediction. I like to see the brainy predictions on this show. I didn't like that one, but I like the vibe. And I love you as a person.
You know what, Clark? You did have another really good prediction that I liked, which is that you predicted...
No, you didn't. You fucking hated this prediction.
I did?
Yes.
Oh, I guess your blue pitch kind of sucked then. I kind of like it now. I think it was a good prediction.
No, you were like, no fucking way. I'll fucking quit the game if they do that shit.
Oh, that sounds like something I would say. Anyhow,
This is February 7th, 2026, Joel.
it's a different Joel. I told you. Can't a guy change his mind anymore? Fuck!
Talon getting a half point for that fucking bow is gonna win this goddamn thing.
So anyways, Clark predicted that there would be specializations for all the outlawed heroes. Oh yeah, I did not like this one. You're right. Now that I said it out loud.
And that didn't happen.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of comments actually about people missing the specializations, which I kind of feel as well.
I feel like they were able to express it through like giving the one card for the talent class combo and making sure that that one card was very clear and direct support. I feel like that was the case throughout it. Before, when we'd get like a Shadow Brute card, it wouldn't necessarily be like the perfect card for Levia.
Right.
Like Slithering Shadowpede in the past. It's like, yeah, there's an idea there. Maybe we can play around with it. And there's a few other cards for other heroes that I'm sure fit that bill that I don't want to spend the time to think about because I would just drag this out. But I think they're sort of leaning into this idea of printing specs without having to put a hero name on it. And I think they're doing that to leave themselves a little bit more open to like changing the name of the hero. I will be magnanimous here and I will shout out Talon's correct prediction from this pitch that pirates will get a lot more gold generating support.
Fantastic.
Maybe this was ground fruit and he only deserves a half.
The retrospective, like, oh man, how did this prediction get in? It's such like a fun part of this game too.
But yeah, I mean, not only did they print gold support, they printed a fuck ton of gold support. Not only the Shallow Water Shark Harpoon and Skywarden number 161803 are both the the double class cards that support a lot more gold generation. Pirate got a gold generating Majestic that lets them wager a gold and a rare that lets them make gold for cards in Arsenal that are yellow. So just so many ways for pirates to make gold now. Very, very reliably. And Necromancer also got Tentacular Toll, which lets them turn ally cards in their graveyard face down to make gold tokens.
I do agree with you. This, in hindsight, was definitely a ground fruit prediction. It was unfortunately a correct prediction. So I think Talon gets the full point here.
He was trying to go for a full sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was very excited. He kept saying on the episode, he's like, oh, I'm getting 100% of these predictions right. He kept saying it over and over again.
Troll me because I was over here like, we're not going to get a single one right.
And the trolling continues.
He did, however, get this next one wrong, which was the return of generic items. Wah, wah.
Yeah, this was a very, very solid prediction, but they went a different direction for their generic cards.
Perhaps a better direction, in my opinion.
Yeah, they went for the spirit that those items had of like, here's a hyper niche condition you might find yourself in where this card is very, very useful. But instead of making it these zero cost non-attack action items that don't have go again, it is these instants that you can, or sometimes even action cards.
There's a couple action cards in there, but
yeah, the elixirs. I feel like those are very item-y looking. They're not technically items, but like,
I mean, an elixir is an item. You know what I mean?
it feels like it, yeah.
Unfortunately, no points. No point here.
No point.
Sorry,
Okay.
lawyer. We did have a couple of correct viewer predictions, though. Ixthia went ahead and predicted that there would be sigil support for wizards, rune blades, elemental talents, and another clash or so. And I think all of those are correct.
I think the only sigil that we got for elemental specifically was the sigil of Volaris, right?
For lightning rune blade.
Voltaris, thank you. Yeah, and that's a lightning rune blade. But rune blades got some really good generic sigils. And Wizards got the Sigil of Fates. So definitely a lot more Sigil support coming out. So great prediction, Ixthia. All right. So now I'm going to go on my gush. And when I was thinking about what do I want to talk about from Compendium of Rathe, there was definitely a lot of options. I think the Brute support's been very interesting. I think the Reviled support has been very interesting. But what I want to talk about is a design trend that I have seen LSS lean into for this set that I don't know if they could have done anywhere else, but maybe this is a trend that we will see moving forward with their designs, which are multi-purpose cards. And what I mean by this is that I think LSS has done a very good job of finding cards that can fulfill multiple niches at the exact same time. So that doesn't always mean a modal card, but I'm going to lead off with a modal card of Tigrine Reflex. So this is a 0 for 3 Ninja Majestic that combos with Crouching Tiger to have +1 and go again. Now that's solid. It's, what is it, Pouncing Links?
Pouncing Key.
Pouncing Key, thank you. Which has a very, very similar effect. But it's nice that adds a little bit of reliability maybe to a Crouching Tiger strategy by giving more red copies of that card. But then it also has the ability to discard and act as like an ancestral empowerment where it can give +1 to a ninja attack and make a Crouching Tiger in your hand.
Incredible.
Making the Crouching Tiger in your hand is incredible because that means Katsu loves it because now he can discard the Crouching Tiger and go tutor out whatever he wants.
Wow. How did I not catch that?
But then it's also good in like a Crouching Tiger Ira build where she really wants Masca momentum to hit and then generate a Crouching Tiger for other synergies of her other Crouching Tiger cards, or even just to arsenal it so that she has a good dedicated second chain link on the next turn.
Yeah, the Crouching Tigers are good at getting you value out of your arms piece, where you just need to throw 2 small attacks to the Shuko.
Yeah. And also, this attack reaction can target any ninja attack. So Ira really likes this because she can target like Weakest Link or CNC, for example.
Kodachi, hell.
A Kodachi to kill you, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Syndra may also love this because we've already seen how much she loves sidestepping, and here's another +1 sidestep into reactions. She has less use for the Crouching Tiger, but like, okay, you just throw it out there to get rid of it. You had got your sidestep. You got your value out of that.
She can also make it Draconic, which is kind of funny.
Yes. Also very, very true.
Like if you have excess fealties, just like creating more like cards.
That'd be funny.
But then we move into some other designs like Future Sight, which makes 3 of these Sigil of Fate tokens. And now here's a design where you're like, okay, this works for like every single wizard. Sigil support is there for Acilio, and like Glyph Overlay, which is a sort of generic thing. They're sort of solidifying that as a generic space for all wizards to play in. But then it also supports this new incredible rare that's a 2 for 6. And then it also opts, which is incredible for Blaze and Kano. Like, this is a design that just sort of very elegantly finds its way to be useful for every hero in its class.
I think Flesh and Blood has the potential for really strong designs like this, and I'm so glad that you shouted them out. With all of the heroes interfacing with this game in slightly different ways, it's so nice when we have an elegant design like this. I think that's the key word here, elegant. It does one thing, but that one thing actually can have rippling benefits for a variety of strategies.
And then Pump Traps. We've already talked about how great the non-attack action trap cards are, but the Pump Traps, I think, just take it to that next level of, wow, this card finally has a variety of utility of uses. And if you notice the 3 classes that I just shouted out here of Wizard, Ninja, and Ranger, I think all of them have struggled with this idea of there just being like one hero that is so niche that like the card just has to be super, super specific for that one hero. But I think that these cards show that there are still elegant designs in the game that can be nice and generic. And I think that we've been waiting for a lot of those. And that's my gush.
It's such a well-designed set, I think.
It really is.
Yeah.
I really hope we have the same opinion like a month from now, you know? Like,
I just want to say, I should get a point for calling that this is the best set of Flesh and Blood in the last 10 years.
As Talon's lawyer, I agree.
I don't. No points.
No, come on. All right, maybe I'll get some more when we move over to the Arsenal Zone section of our podcast.
The Arsenal Zone. The Arsenal Zone. Fuzzy, what's the Arsenal Zone?
It's the part of our podcast where on a normal day, we each shout out a card we've been thinking about lately for whatever reason we want. In our Pitch and Predictions episode, what did you guys do? I wasn't even here.
We made predictions for what the Marvels of the set were going to be, because there were like 15 Marvels, 23 Marvels, and we were like,
23, yeah.
what are these Marvels going to be?
We'd like to lead off our Arsenal zone with a Patreon shout out. And this week, we have selected Honorable, who happens to have a voice recording of their shout out for us.
Yo, the first voice submission of the podcast for Arsenal Zone. And we're very excited that it was Honorable to get selected for this week's Arsenal Zone.
So let's play it now, and then we'll edit it in.
So I was thinking about the hit Majestic from Rosetta, Snuff Out, a 1-cost 5-power attack action card that reads, when this hits, you may destroy an aura you control. If you do, they discard a card. Now, this is a very interesting card that didn't really see a whole lot of play in Aurora, but did see a little play in LL with Briar, just because you could easily give Go Again playing 2 non-attack actions. If Aurora cared about pitching cards, you could theoretically do cool things like play this card with an Embodiment of Lightning behind it, give it Go Again, hit with CLV, and then draw a card, make them discard a card, and get the same sort of value of Face Purgatory on offense at the expense of, pitching a card. Unfortunately, Aurora did not play this way, but, it could have been a very interesting card for her to play, and I really hope that in the future, Runeblades get to use cards like this more often and have ways to give it Go Again, but in a limited sense without being too overpowered, just because I think it is a very fun way to either set up an arsenal or extend a nice long turn if you need it. That's it.
I love this card. I like how it's clearly strong and it's easy to slot into a Runeblade strategy without being an automatic staple for every Runeblade deck. I think it kind of hits that nicely. If anything, it is a little bit strong. I think it's on the overpowered side, but I think it's nice to play these little 1-for-5s with Disruption.
Yeah, I feel like this card is very, very pushed. I've had this card played against me, especially when Clark was farming with Viserai, as well as other Viserai players in the area. Like, the discard feels very threatening, but it's pretty easy to play around, and not having innate Go Again, thank God, is also a boon. Like, I think it's just a good card for Runeblade players to show some skill expression in playing and including, and some skill expression for you to like keep that in mind. You might get punished by the first one, but the second and third copy should be easy enough for you to play around. And
it's not like Runeblade is playing a lot of attack reactions. They're probably the least likely to pump this in reactions.
Right.
Unless you're Aurora. She did have Lightning Press.
That's true.
I do really like that shout out of Snuff Out has a lot of skill expression. Sometimes that skill expression doesn't feel like skill expression and it feels like Runeblade bullshit.
Yeah.
I think that's the Briar Snuff Out interaction of like, oh, I hit you and I make an Embodiment of Earth, but then I get to destroy the Embodiment of Earth and make you discard a card.
That's true.
This just says on hit, discard a card then. Like, there's no cleverness to it. But then there's other things like Honorable mentioning the CLV, interesting play lines where like, oh, I'm just throwing this little 1-for-5 with Go Again off of my Findall's counter, and then you flash in the CLV, get the draw, they discard by you destroying the CLV. But then you've also played a lightning card, so now you could like maybe pitch again and make in the Embodiment of Lightning. And by pitching there, like you can just do things where it's like, is this just a 1-card 5? Or are you actually doing this crazy unique setup that I can't see coming?
Yeah, lots of ways to ensure that the on-hit is relevant. Not a lot of ways to pump the power to punish blocking it.
Yeah, I think a solid card, solid shout out overall.
Yeah.
And thanks for the voice prediction. That was fun.
We should do more of those. And if you want to do more of those, if you want to get your voice on the podcast, you can sign up for our Patreon at the $5 or higher tier.
Yeah. And honestly, I see a couple more voice predictions that I hope we get to listen to in the future. So yeah, please keep sending them. They seem like a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to go to our host predictions. Yes? Question mark.
I didn't make one of those, so can I play ringleader here and just...
Yeah.
Sure.
As we move on in our Arsenal zone, we want to review our predictions from last Pitch and Predictions, because I believe each of our hosts that day predicted a Marvel, since there was a whole bunch of unknown Marvels for the set.
Yeah, and let's just go through these quickly. I'll lead off with mine. I predicted that there would be a new Marvel Chi.
Damn.
because it felt like that was exactly the sort of design I could see them doing in this set. Like, we knew that everyone was going to get something, and I'm like, what do they do for Mystic? I don't know, give them like a new cheat card and like watch all the Mystic heroes go, oh, this is so crazy, we got a new cheat card.
And Talon predicted that they would print one Marvel for every kind of Marvel that has ever been printed before.
Which was a great big prediction I thought was going to be true. I mean, it felt so real.
Yeah.
But Joel, what did you predict?
I predicted that they would do hero Marvels for all heroes that did not have a Marvel treatment yet.
And that was correct.
That's exactly what they did, right?
I mean, I think they're missing a lot of heroes, and it's only young heroes. So, like,
It is 15 young hero Marvels.
damn.
Now, there are 23 Marvels, and there's 15 heroes. I'm not sure how they're doing the math for the 23 Marvels specifically, but I do know that 15 young hero Marvels, I think, gets you the point.
Oh,
And I think these are all heroes who haven't been printed in Marvel before. So
they have not.
They have not?
Not to my recollection.
Actually, sorry, no, Reinar has. Reinar
This year's
was
Reinar?
Welcome to Wraith.
he has a history pack.
Yeah, he has the History Pack Marvel.
Actually, him, Kano, Dash, and Kano, Dash, and Azalea all have history pack Marvels.
Yes, but not their young version. So notably, this does still give us the young versions of these heroes, and plenty of heroes that normally did not have a Marvel before.
yeah, good job, Joel. Now I think we're each going to shout out a card from the set that we're just generally hyped about. Do you want to start, Clark?
Yeah, I want to shout out Rights of Earthlore. Rights of Earthlore is a red 0-cost non-attack action aura 3-block that says when this enters the arena, create a Seismic Surge token. At the start of your next turn, destroy this. Then your next Guardian attack action card you play this turn gets +3. I really like this because this is a 0-for-4 red non-attack action card in Guardian, but it doesn't have Go Again. And it kind of justifies the 4 value by delaying it until the next turn. But this is a really solid 1-card play after something like a Promising Terrain, because then you get 2 Seismic Surge tokens by playing it. I also like that this is tutorable off of Imposing Visage as another 0-cost aura to go look for, which is something I've really been struggling with in Valda. If I sort of natural the legendary, I kind of had 3 Imposing Visages that aren't really doing anything in my deck anymore. But Rights of Earthlore gives me another thing to go tutor out with Go Again that also makes makes a Seismic Surge token to keep my Dominate up, and gives me a pump so that that dominated attack is just a little bit stronger. I think it's a great card to have in the deck. It's a good setup card. I'm not sure if other Guardians will be leaning on it as much, but I've really appreciated the role that this card can play in Guardian, and I've already seen it get a little bit of play in some Sage Brews.
Oh.
Yeah, I think this card is great, and it's a very clear, good card.
Yeah.
It is a lot of what Guardian wants.
Totally. Fantastic shout.
What about you, Joel?
For my card, I'm picking Shapeless Form, which is a blue 2-block, 1-power, 0-cost Mystic Ninja attack action that says, whenever you play an attack action card with Ephemeral, choose a name. It gets the chosen name. And I like this card for a few reasons. Number one, it has a cool tiger, and it has Shwoom Jr., our mascot of the podcast. Mm-hmm. I feel like it functions better than the original Shwoom. It lets you just turn every single Crouching Tiger into whatever you need it to be. And I think with this card, whenever Zen comes back, if he ever has the opportunity to tutor cards or get combo cards in general, he'll be able to use other combo lines much more easily with this. You can play it as your blue starter for the turn, transcend, and then use your chi for whatever it's going to be used for in the second printing of the Mystic Ninja. And I, for one, am really excited to play with Crouching Tigers again. So really looking forward to seeing what this card unlocks.
Yeah. It also doesn't make any Crouching Tigers, so it does demand that you play on a larger hand, that you have to kind of inject a little bit more support into it. You need to find ways of making your attack action cards with Ephemeral. But also, this doesn't say Crouching Tigers. It says attack action cards with Ephemeral. They could definitely create other tokens or Ephemeral action cards that you could like put in deck. Or maybe you could like play a non-attack action card that gives your other attack action cards ephemeral, or there's an equipment that does it. There's all sorts of just by changing that little bit of wording, it opens up a lot of potential design space.
But yeah, that's my card. Fuzzy, do you have one for us as well?
Yeah, for my shout, I wanted to look for a card that makes me excited to play the game more and that I really think I'm going to sleeve into a deck. And I feel like with newer sets, I tend to get excited about a lot of different stuff, but there's so much here. I think it's short-circuiting me. I'm having a hard time picking one. I think I'm going to go with Rip Off the Top. It's the Brute non-attack action card. It's a rare, color locked at yellow, costs 1. It says draw a card, then pitch a random card from your hand. And if that card has 6 or more power, your next attack this turn gets +3 and it blocks for 2. For some reason, I wasn't like counting this right when I first saw it in spoiler season. There's like, digital records of me saying I think this card is really bad, but then I'm counting it again. I'm like, wait, no, this is just like Saltwater Swell, but for Brute, and it's kind of above rate. Like if you pitch a yellow to play this and you find a yellow 6 off the top, then you can swing Rock for 10 off of a 2-card hand. Yeah. And any hero can do that. Like that's not just a tough nut thing. So 2-card 10 is pretty good. So I can see a world where this is like really solid, and there's a lot of cards here that make me excited to play Brute.
Can you imagine playing this after a Song of Sinew?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
That's incredible.
Song of Sinew, use the Vigor, Rip Off the Top. You get the blue Wrecker Romp that you just put on top of your deck, swing Rock.
Wow.
Awesome.
Or have Breakneck Battery somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if it has 6 or more, never mind.
Yeah. But all really, really, really interesting stuff happening with this. I've even thought about this becoming my extra power card in Sage, because I've been feeling like KO needs a power card somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what non-attack action card can really, really help KO? I've been looking at Red Barraging Beatdown and stuff like that, but Rip Off the Top. I think it's just by giving me the pitch so that I can really focus on dedicating my entire hand to offense.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really interesting proposition.
And I'm loving the extra cards in the game that pitch as an effect. I think that's an unexplored design space in the game, and they're slowly exploring it more and more.
Yeah.
And that's my shout.
It's a great shout. I love the card.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, we have not one, but 2 winners for the pitch and prediction gamification.
Wait.
Is one of them me?
No, not even close. It's like
Wait, what'd Fuzzy get?
0.5.
I got it on the board.
Yeah.
You know what? On the board from
With no prompt, by the
early
way.
predictions, no prompts,
Yeah.
no conversation from us.
Sick as a dog.
Less than half as many predictions as you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got less than half as many points as you guys.
What about our audience? How'd our audience do?
Oh, our audience put up a valiant effort, but only came out with 2 correct predictions.
That's probably on us for not marketing this as much.
I feel like we gave good leadway, or a good lead time. I came in a humble 3rd place, or I think 2nd place at 2.5.
Whoa, that's a high second place.
I'm very surprised at that too. I also think you guys are just being generous. And then we have a tie between Clark and Talon.
the duality of man.
The duality of man. Clark dooming the entire episode.
And Talon, everything is correct. Everything I say is prophetic.
I think both of your methods worked. You can be a doomer and a dreamer in the same episode.
Just remember, folks, being a point whore works.
With 3 points each.
Holy shit.
Wow.
And to be fair, I think the audience might have cleared us because we didn't include all of the audience predictions, but
Yeah, we tried to go through as many as we could find. But
and hey, we're always trying to improve the show. So if you have a better idea for how these episodes can go, feel free to let us know.
yeah, how do you want to engage with with pitch and prediction?
Yeah, we want to make it fun for everybody because we're having a blast.
Yeah.
But we want to make it fun for you guys.
This
as
is
well.
also definitely not quite an episode that's been picked up by the wider Fab community
Yeah.
in terms of our viewer base. This is very much for us and our community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a special thing, I think.
A little bit more niche.
Yeah.
If you're listening to it, this episode is almost quite literally just for you.
Yeah, if you're at this point.
Yeah.
For sure, Z's.
Cool. Well, I think that's it.
About time to sign off for the night. Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you're excited for Compendium of Rathe. Make sure you tell us what exactly you're excited for, what you love to see in spoiler season, and your thoughts on releasing 100 cards in the same day. Are you overwhelmed? Are you just like full of dopamine?
Alrighty.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Pitch It To Me podcast is hosted by Fuzzy Delp, Clark Moore, and Joel Recinos. Executive producer, Talon Stradley. Logistics coordinator, John Farkas. Music by Dillon Hulse. Logo by Han V. Sound mixing, Christopher Moore. And last but not least, you. Thank you for listening. Please give us a follow on your favorite social media platform at Pitch It To Me podcast.
Well, sun's getting low in the sky. Fireflies are out on the horizon.
It is 12 noon.
Let him paint the picture.
And I'm laying back on the porch with a freshly lit cigar and a neat whiskey on the rocks. Folks, I think it's time to turn in for the day.
Totally.